I know Naveen Babu for more than 2 decades as a student of JNU, as a very active member of Radical Students Union and All India Revolutionary Students Federation. And we together have organized the International Seminar on Nationality Question in February '96 in Delhi, where we were together working for 4 months, together touring all over the country to invite the guests for that, right from Jammu Kashmir to Kerala, and also inviting Guviwati Ango and William Hinton and such other people. Naveen was the convener of that international seminar that you know. Earlier to that, in 1970, we had a very strong unit of Virasam, Revolutionary Association in JNU and Delhi. It was Ashok Tankshara, before the emergency itself, has organized Virasam in JNU. And he continued it till 1983, when the Delhi unit of Virasam has organized the All India League for Revolutionary Culture in 1983 here. It was during that time, in fact, there was a great struggle in JNU against the administration for democratic rights, and 14 students at JNU were rusticated. You know, Professor Brown is one of them, Tilak and Brown, among those 14 people. It was during that time Naveen is introduced to me. He used to live in Kaveri along with Ashok. He was also a member of Revolutionary Writers Association. He continued that. In fact, on behalf of the Revolutionary Writers Association of Delhi, we brought 2 Telugu anthologies from here. One is Jawaharlal poetry anthology, and a book, a critical work, the best known forever, the critical work on Kudamba Rao's works in Telugu from Delhi itself, from JNU itself. And Ashok and Naveen together were working in that book. Later, you know, when he had joined the RSU and the ASF, and after completing the international seminar very successfully, he was the key man in that, in fact. We had been to Kashmir to invite Yasin Malik and others to this nationality seminar. And after that, he decided that he will join the revolutionary movement, the underground revolutionary movement in DK, and he went there. As Rakesh also was telling that, in fact, the man who is known world over after the international seminar, he has become a friend of William Hinton and Guviwati Ango people. When he was killed in a fake encounter, of course, it was a raid on the police station in Darakonda area of East Goloi. By then, he was working for the Jeng magazine, a military magazine run by the party, then the Uswar party. He was working for it. He was under the editorial board. He was not supposed to go for that raid, but he wanted to cover as a journalist, as people in the war cover the news. K. Satyarayana was leading that team, and he requested that he will also join to cover the whole program. So when then the police station was raided, and it was a successful raid, many arms were taken, but Naveen, in his enthusiasm, tried to see into the police station, and a bullet has come and Naveen died then and there itself. And nobody knows that, of course, by then we also don't know that he had joined the underground movement. The newspapers in Telugu have reported that an unknown Satyarayana died. Of course, the leader who led the movement was also killed in the encounter. And Naveen also died. Naveen also died, but he could not be recognized. Of course, that's what they know, that police know that, but they have published in the newspaper that an unidentified person died in the encounter. In fact, some of the newspapers, the newspapers are published in the newspaper, and it was very familiar for me for more than 2 decades, but I could not recognize the photo. And that's how his dead body was not claimed by his parents or blood relations or any friend. It was only cremated there in the forest itself. Later, after a week, we have come to know that it was Naveen Babu, a very well-known person in Delhi, in Hyderabad, everywhere in fact, as an intellectual activist, as a revolutionary to one and all. It was he, Naveen Babu, who died there. And I think from the ANU, a student who was present to the occasion, like Veera Swami in the Central University, who was an MPhil student. He was doing his PhD, Professor Darakonda, has become the president of Radical Students Union, by then banned by the state. He was taken to Mantralaya in Andhra, along with others, and Bhujan Reddy from Sri Krishna Devaraya University of Anantapur. Both of them were killed in a fake encounter. And Veera Swami was one such student from Central University. Naveen Babu was there in the underground revolution movement for about a decade. And I wrote a poem very late when we brought out his thesis, the MPhil thesis in English, and we organized a big meeting in Hyderabad. In 2008, I wrote a poem about him, Naveen Babu, in which I described the whole thing. The man who is known to everybody was died as an unidentified person and was cremated in the forest. The wind that has blown from forest into JNU has reached the jungle, taking that man with it and turned into the wildfire. The man born out of earth has joined the earth, always spontaneous, like a rejuvenating fragrance. Don't you see Naveen Babu's looks behind those glasses, trying to withhold, piercing into your eyes, piercing into our eyes, bringing people far into the discussion on poetry and poetry into the battlefields. The looks that will not allow us to remain as we are and as how we are. These are some of the lines which are written. And in his underground life also, you must have heard the name of Shahida, a poet, a story writer, a versatile writer, now working in Dandakaranya. She is in the revolutionary movement for more than 3 decades. And she was the companion of, she was the better part of Patel Sukhakar Reddy. She met Naveen Babu in the underground movement. They have become friends, in fact. When she lost her companion, when she was in great grief, Naveen Babu went to console him. And she wrote a very moving poem. Naveen Babu, in fact, was brought out her poetry anthology. In this anthology, you will find a very moving poem by Shahida and Naveen Babu. I will read out some lines from it. Of course, I did not bring the whole spirit which she had written on him. How diversified were your capabilities. How much efforts you must have put behind for that. Your modesty covers all that, and you place straight criticism. It is the inner essence of democracy, driven by the people and their cause. You use it to take us with your smile on lips and a hand on our shoulder along with you. Yes, it is true, comrade. Searching your means, discovering certain brighter dimensions of human values, to spread the values you cherish and spread, we have to travel into you forever. That's what Shahida tells us about Naveen Babu. Naveen Babu was one of those organizations, the Radical Students Union and ARSF, in fact, which has fought the rising fascism, the imperialist fascism, and also the Brahmanical Hindutva fascism in this country. Particularly, I will later go into those details, how the Radical Student Union has fought the Hindutva fascism in the campuses in 70s and 80s. And what's that we have to imbibe from that organization, particularly in fighting today's most dangerous phase of the fascism. Before going into it, I will briefly introduce my understanding about the fascism. Where the parliamentary system has failed in West, because it is an outcome of the Industrial Revolution in Britain and France, but when it has grown into the imperialist stage, the stage of capitalism giving any good results, it has stopped, it has reached a monopolist stage where it has reached a moribund stage and could not grow. The Germany, which lost its First World War, tried to re-equip the new bourgeoisie, the imperialist forces. It had brought out the phenomenon of nationalism, as we see today, Achedi Naira. He had promised the national socialism to Germany in the elections, while propagating to bring the national socialism. On the other hand, you could also see here now, at a political economy level, they will be speaking about certain political economic promises like national socialism. But at an ideological level, at the level of ideas, he was also speaking about the nationality. At first, nationality is the outcome of Europe's nations. The nations are there for thousands of years. But the idea of nationality has come from Europe. It's an outcome of capitalism. It's a bourgeois idea. But that idea, Hitler has taken to a stage where that the German nationalism is the Aryan nationalism. It is the only nation which can rule all over the world. And the blood imbibed in the Aryan Germans is the pure blood which can rule all over the world. The symbol they have taken is the swastik, which today the RSS people, the Hindutva people also adopt. Of course, these people say that Germans have stolen our Vedas and taken to Germany, and they have taken everything from us. But the fact is, this fascism is brought to this country from the German fascist forces. And behind us, everywhere, in fact, whatever way the ideas are, we say that it is a Brahmanical, that means it is Brahmanical feudalism. The Brahmanical feudalism has turned into a commoner class from the times of East India Company, along with the capitalist classes here, the big bourgeoisie here. It is playing a role of commoner to the imperialism. So in the very beginning, it was a Brahmanical feudalism, right from the days of Rama. You can very interestingly see today's similarities to that. When Rama, to implement this Brahmanical feudalism, he was taken from Vishwamitra to Dandakaranya. From there he had been to women. And from Dandakaraka he went to Lanka. Today you can see Chidambaram coming from Sri Lanka after killing the ATD and Prabhakar and others there and coming to Dandakaraka. The only change is those were the days of Brahminical feudalism. And you know, Kshatriyas having their rule, their Raj, and Brahmins with their ashramas as today's IITs and universities, having thousands of acres of land, cattle, and so much of wealth with it, only to protect the Raj and the Rajas. Today we also can see the corporate sectors and the state functioning together. So this idea, in fact, how the Brahminical Hinduism best suited as a counter to the imperialism can be understood by the Hindutva philosophy, the Brahminical Hindutva philosophy. The capitalism has grown into imperialism and to monopoly, where it will not allow anybody to grow, where it has reached a vibrant state. The Brahminical philosophy also will not allow. It has got sparsha dosha, it has got drushti dosha. It will not allow any non-Brahminical people to have education. It is an interesting paradox also. One day, the Brahmins are most minority class in this society. It's only 3%. When it comes to within the Hindu society, they are 3% and 97 are non-Brahmins. When it comes to unite these people along against the Muslims, they say that all those who are born into Hindu, though they don't give the Hindutva to them, they are 97% Hindus. And today this is an illusionary idea which is making them, today you can see the victory of Modi. He won the Gujarat elections in this, where the caste has divided the people here during the elections, in the parliamentary elections. Communalism could unite in Gujarat for 5 terms. This is a dangerous thing. And today, all over the country also we can see that this communalism could unite in the name of Hindutva. It's of course illusory. It's only a temporary phase. But time being, he could do that. Their philosophy, Hindutva philosophy, is based on Bhagavad Gita and Mahabharata. Of course, yesterday I was asking one of my friend, what are those cartoons which are put on the bow magazine which used to come from France? Whether they were of any deeds, the so-called terrorist deeds, or whether they are many about the Muhammad Prophet. He said that most of them are about Muhammad Prophet. They were insulting Muhammad's Prophet. More than any so-called terrorist acts, the Hippo cartoons for a long time, and there were many appeals to them not to publish, not to insult those cartoons. But if you can see the religious books, it's only the Bhagavad Gita which preaches about unevenness, which preaches about violence. In no other religious book, either in Quran or in Bible, at least in their books, you don't see the idea. They preach equality. They preach non-violence. The only religious book which preaches violence is Bhagavad Gita. And very interestingly, people like Gandhi found non-violence in Bhagavad Gita. It's another paradox. You could see the interpretations of Bhagavad Gita. From Tilak to Gandhi to Savarkar, many people have interpreted Bhagavad Gita. It's Gandhi alone who is interpreted Bhagavad Gita as a non-violent book. Even the other people will not accept that. Even Golwalkar did not interpret the Bhagavad Gita that way. Edgar has interpreted Bhagavad Gita that way. They know that, they believe that Bhagavad Gita preaches violence. Can you show any book in the world which preaches violence in its Gita itself? And you all know inequality. Very openly says that. Brahman is born here and Shudra is Brahman. In the Gita, not that some people are saying this. The Bhagavad Gita says that. Manudharma says that. And this kind of idea best in a village, a Brahman which holds everything in his hand, particularly the ideas. Interestingly, you see, even the women in the Brahman families don't know Sanskrit. The queens in the Kshatriya families don't know Sanskrit. If you go to the Bhandarkar library in Pune, you take the, because he is the authority for the Sanskrit books, you find any book. Take Sapnavasadatta. You'll find that Sita will be speaking Pali language in the drama, and Rama speaks Sanskrit. How could Sita understand that Rama speaks Sanskrit? There is no explanation. Dushyanta speaks Sanskrit. Shakuntala answers in Pali. So even Shakuntala and Sita are not allowed to Sanskrit. That explains that. So then a woman from a Brahmin family, that too from the daughter of Menaka, brought up in Kanvas Ashrama, she is not allowed to learn Sanskrit. And Sita, in fact, the Devata Rama's pet half, is not allowed to learn Sanskrit. That is the, to put it in political terms, that is the monopoly of Brahminical knowledge. There are many sayings in the villages. One knows the snake bite mantra, the Brahman. He will not teach that mantra to anybody, except when he dies, he tells it to his son. The village Karanam, the Patwari, his writing, the saying is that it's known when he dies only. He teaches only to his son. This kind of withholding the knowledge within the grip of one person, a Brahminical discipline, is best suited to monopoly. That's what in Gurjar Appa, who wrote a drama called Kanyashulkam, 150 years back. In that drama, he deals with this, how the ideas of the Hindutva Brahminical feudalism, how better taken into the East India Company's ideas and how they adopted, how that all over the country, particularly in the Kaveri belt and particularly in the Delta districts of Andhra Pradesh, all these Brahminical groups have joined, maybe from UP, Bihar and other places also. All these Brahminical groups have joined the bureaucracy of East India Company. That means in that drama he describes something, that there is one Agnihotra, he believes only in Vedas, nothing less than Vedas. But when Girisham, a person with some craft and also smokes cigars, comes to his place, he hates him. He sends him out. But when he comes to know that he can read the court papers written in English, he invites him and he believes him to that extent that he elopes with his daughter. That means Sanskrit Shastras during the East India Company have very easily shifted to the English law. That means the Roman law is best suited to the Brahminical Shastras, and the Brahminical Shastras could play a complex role to the English law. Maybe the Roman law which is taken into the British law. So the very ideas of that is at the superstructure level, of course not only superstructure, because Brahminism is a feudalism based. The Brahminical feudalism, at its superstructure level, has better used by the monopoly, the imperialist forces in this country, and that's why we see even today, that all over the world is one Israel and another India, which are playing the right and left roles of the imperialism today. So this is very dangerous. That is at the superstructure level, that's why you today see Modi will speak only about Swachh Bharat. Modi will speak about only Achhe Din Aayega. Modi will speak about, but the second rank in his, of course, he goes and gives Bhagavad Gita to Obama, he goes and gives to the head of the Japan also the Bhagavad Gita. And it's not he says that Bhagavad Gita is our Rajyanga, but whereas Sushma Swaraj will say in Parliament that let us declare this as our national book. That means They want Bhagavad Gita as our Raja, as our constitution. This kind of the interlink of the Brahminical ideology, the Hindutva Brahminical feudal ideology, playing a comparable role to the imperialism. It has come to the stage of 1857, when you see, for the first time, British in fact made an experiment. The experiment was, till then you know, all the princely states were not part of British India. In 1857 war, they wanted to make an experiment whether we can have friendly relations with the feudal classes here, or a contradiction like that of England. England, you know that, in fact, the growth of capitalism, they have destroyed the feudalism and framed from there the capitalism has come. Only two have come world over. And France, the French Revolution, and England after the Industrial Revolution. Afterwards, when the capitalism has grown to imperial stage, today you can't find anywhere the better part of the capitalism anywhere in the world. There is no scope at all. That's why whether in Delhi, our party coming into the power, can you explain as the regional bourgeoisie coming into power? No. We have seen Assam, where Assam repression has come into power, which can be, in recent times, can be said as regional bourgeoisie, because all its fight was against the center. The oil, tea, coffee, and bamboo. These are the four very important resources of Assam. We will not allow the center to take the revenues from these four resources. That was the struggle of Assam repression. In fact, they have cut the pipeline from Varavara to Delhi. Such a party, which has fought for 10 years, the regional bourgeoisie against the Kapra bourgeoisie in Delhi, coming into power immediately, it has joined NDA. So theoretically and also in practice, we have seen that there is no scope in this country, of the matter world over, the independent growth of capitalism. It is the imperialism everywhere, in every country, the comparable playing in the interest of the imperialism. And that comparable role is played by the Brahminical strata. And this as has grown into Germany into a fascist force. In India also, in fact, from 1947 itself, 1947, the riots, the so-called Hindu-Muslim riots, where so many Muslims, lakhs of Muslims were killed. And that was the time, in fact, the richest literature has come about the partition and the things, in fact, someday about reviewing about the PK. Some reviewer was saying that Thomas was a better film than you compare to PK. You can see in Thomas how he describes in 1947 the genocide which had taken place. The 1857 experiment which the British had made, in fact, Marx says that 1857 was the first independence struggles of India, where the sons of peasants, of course in uniforms, have fought against the imperials. But those kisans, those peasants, were divided as Hindu Muslims by the British people, by the East India Company. Never before in 1857, the people in this country, they may be religious, they must have their beliefs. But they never thought, as a communal forces, they are Hindus and Muslims. They were thinking that they were peasants, they were farmers, they were agricultural laborers, they were different trades. But in 1857, the British has sown the seed that this country, unless you divide this country into Hindu, Muslim, you can't rule this. Imperialism cannot rule this. And while they are leading this country in 1947, we have seen that the Hindu, Muslim riots, lakhs of people dying like that. So, of course, today some of the people are saying that, of course, in our Panchayaya writes that Jawaharlal Nehru is a liberal democrat. He is nearer to Ambedkar. Ambedkar and Jawaharlal Nehru only are the liberal democrats. So today, Congress has to use the symbol of Jawaharlal Nehru because Gandhi is taken away by the the BJP people. And so they have to take Jawaharlal Nehru. And that will also satisfy the Ambedkar rights. That's what Kanchaya recently has in Telugu, because I don't know whether it is in English or not. But what was the character of Nehru in the 1950s? One itself, Jawaharlal called him, is a typical rhetorical bourgeoisie comrade bureaucrat. A big saying of 51. It's true, because 47 was one, and interestingly, because somebody in the introduction, she was telling about the Telangana and Tebhala. Tebhala was one struggle where thousands of Muslim women as agricultural labor have participated in Tebhala struggle. Tebhala was a great struggle. In fact, the Communist Party could not take it further, only to do it in Telangana. And Telangana, of course, the Communist Party struggle, I need not go into the details, but how the fascist forces have played a role there, I will confine to their research. Before the advent of, before writing of the Constitution, before the Parliament is formed, in 1940, on 13 September to 17 September, the Indian Army was sent by Nehru and Patel to Hyderabad state. The pretext was to take the state and join it in the Indian Union. Of course, Indian Union was not formed till then. They have killed 4,000 people, communists and sympathizers. They have killed 2 lakh people in the name of Razakas. They have killed 2 lakh Muslims in the name of Razakas. The Parliament was not formed, the Constitution is not written, and it is the character of the Delhi. It is the character of the central government. It is the character of the Nehru government. This is the second instance. Of course, the things which are seen continuously from 1980s, I will come to. Particularly, there are many similarities between the Rajiv Gandhi's rule and Modi's rule. All that we see in a big tree farm today, all of these, there are seeds, there are sprouts in Rajiv Gandhi's time. Of course, it started in the latter period of Indira Gandhi's rule, between 1980 and 84. This Hindutva ideology, in fact, it is Indira Gandhi, is started in the second rule after independence. And that is in the context of the Punjab militant movement. First, it dealt with the Sikhs. By 1984, it has gone to a stage where the military was sent to the Golden Temple. Thousands of people were killed. Of course, the people have taken revenge. On the 31st of October and 1st, 2nd, 3rd of November, Delhi and the states just besides Delhi have seen 3,060 killed. That is the same period when Bhopal gas tragedy has taken place, in the month of December 84. In spite of the Bhopal gas tragedy, in spite of the thousands of people being killed, the Lok Sabha elections took place. And Rajiv Gandhi, the slogan of Hind Karega Hindu Raj, he won the election, 401 seats. Nothing new for Modi. Rajiv Gandhi won the seat, 401 seats. On the other hand, in 1985, Bombay Congress, the 100 years of Congress party, he says that I will take this country into 21st century. What is that, taking this country into 21st century? The genocide on a nationality called Sikhs. The biggest industrial tragedy, the gas tragedy in Bhopal. Sending the IPKF to Sri Lanka. This is taking 21st century. Same thing what today Modi is saying. So all that we are today reaping, its beginning is in 1984. That is the overt beginning. As I told, you could see its beginning in 46, 47 itself. And from then onwards, and it was 84, Advani had taken Ekatmaka Yajna from the Dwaraka in Gujarat. From Dwaraka to Ayodhya, he has taken this Ekatmata Yajna. Again I will explain here, what is this Atma? Atma, you see, Vivekananda is the best exponent of this Atma. That is, Atma is Akhanda. Atma is Akhanda and there is only Ekatma. This nationality idea is from Europe has started. Devar and Golwalkar has taken to a stage of a nationalism. That nationalism is nothing but the Hindutva. Hindutva is nothing but India. So a country which diversified nationalities in this country, now today they have put it like the Hindu is a nationality, which is never, it's only a religion. And those Hindus living in India all are Hindus. So India as a nation is a Hindu nation. There they have come. This the root of it is the Hindu philosophy speaks of Akhandatma. The Atma is not divisible, it's not divided. Taking this Ekatmata Yajna, today of course Indira Gandhi also said that one party, one nation, one leader during emergency. Same slogan of Advani also says that one nation, one party, one leader. Wherefore it comes from Ekatma. Why Ekatmata Yajna? From Gaya to Ayodhya Ekatmata Yajna, because this country needs a monopoly market. At the political economy level, a monopoly market, to make people emotionally prepare for that, go with Ekatmata Yajna, Akhandatma, because Vivekananda is a great hero for us. And you know his Chicago speech, you know his Chennai speech, because he studied logic in his BA. In Marina Beach, he was speaking about the Atma. He says that I am speaking, I am seeing you, I am not seeing them. That doesn't mean they are not there. So if you are not seeing, that doesn't mean that it is not there, that is Akhandatma. He logically explains. So as Atma cannot be divided, the monopoly market has to control all of the country. For that, he has taken a Of course, only Lalu Prasad could stop it in Bihar. And that's why to take revenge. It's not because Jharkhand को Jharkhand बनाएंगे, Jharkhand को Jharkhand बनाएंगे, इसलिए Jharkhand was not given. Jharkhand was given to DK Lalu Prasad. So from 84 onwards, you know many. You can go into the opening the doors of Rama Temple, so-called Rama Temple in Babri Masjid, happened in 84 itself. And from there, without stop, we have gone into 91. All the new economic policies, you can see, it is Rajiv Gandhi who introduced Tata. And those Tata, he says, it's against Punjab and Kashmir militants and terrorists, of course. But 17,000 people, the workers in the trade unions in Gujarat were arrested. 15,000 democratic activists, writers and many other people were arrested in Andhra Pradesh using Tata. Special Power Act has come during that time. All the draconian laws which we today see have come during Rajiv Gandhi's period, but particularly post-emergency period. And then 91, all of you know that the globalization policy, globalization, liberalization and privatization has started in 91 and 92, the Babri Masjid. In between, in fact, of course, this period you know very well, but I will not go into the in between. How? The resistance in our case, I will explain more from the experience of Andhra Pradesh. Now, of course, in Telangana, particularly during your Andhra Pradesh days. And since you are the students and also the Naveen Babu's memorial lecture, you were a student of RSU. How RSU has fought against these fascist forces in Andhra Pradesh. First is that it was in 1972. You know, George Reddy was killed in Spania campus by the BBC. 14th April 1972. By then, Visakhapatnam has happened. Mentioned about Naxalbari and Visakhapatnam has come in her paper. Earlier you have heard about it. So Naxalbari has come into Visakhapatnam, and Visakhapatnam present struggle is the immediate inspiration for revolution writers organization to be formed. By 1972, Janata Mandali has come. By then there was a new student organization called Progress Students in Varavara. It started functioning from the steel plant agitation in 1966, that is again with the influence of the Cultural Revolution in China. In 1966, a militant steel plant agitation has come, and that was organized by Kondabel Sitaramaya and K. Satyamurthy in Varavara. There was fighting by CRPF on the steel plant agitation people. No sooner the Naxalbari happened, and the Visakhapatnam also has happened, and the progress students are formed in Varavara in thousands of members. So the beginnings of 1970s were battlefields of these students who owe their allegiance to the Naxalbari and Visakhapatnam politics, who are influenced by the Chinese Cultural Revolution, Proletarian Cultural Revolution. There were bitter struggles between the ABVP people and then of course by then the Radical Students Union is not formed. Mostly the ideological struggle pamphlets is showing, called organizing the meetings in the colleges. It has gone to a kind of physical struggles also. By 1972 it has grown to a stage where the Sangh Parivar section could not tolerate the growth of the progressive students, the radical students, and they have killed George Reddy in front of the Usmania Engineering College campus. You can see, of course, the ABVP students from the trading classes, the Brahmins, the Reddys, and the Varavas. The progressive students, particularly after the formation of RSU, very clear-cut division. Rakesh was speaking about the Revisionism also. I will come to that also. All the radical students were either from Dalits, downtrodden castes, very poor classes, the radical students. And all the ABVP students from, interestingly, their fathers were in Congress party. Their fathers were in a BJP party or different parties. But all the students were in the ABVP, because ABVP is the only militant organization. Congress will not have a militant organization. To fight with the revolutionary students, ABVP is the only militant, because they have shakas, they have lathis, they teach them all those things. 72 they have killed George. 74 they have killed Chand Pasha in Silsila. And after emergency particularly, again this character, the class composition of ABVP and RSU has very radically, drastically changed. By then in Warangal and Karimnagar, the whole party, the People's War Party, was headed by the scheduled caste leaders. COs, district organizers, district secretaries, I might have mentioned earlier, Zannu Chinnaru was the son of agricultural labor. His father, his brother was a rickshaw puller. He himself was a mess boy in Kakatiya Medical College. He was the leader of the People's War Party in Varavara. All the central organizers were from Dalits. So in the classrooms also, in the colleges also, all the ABVP people come from the upper caste. You can see also the people, the ABVP people have killed, and those the RSU people have killed. You can see their caste and class character also. In 1983, 83, they have killed one Seshaya, Joint Secretary of Radical Students Union, a paper boy in Nalgonda. He used to sell newspapers in the daytime, and in the evening he used to study in the evening college. He was killed by evening. Earlier they tried to kill one Seshu, a teacher, who was influential in bringing into Revolutionary Association and the radical ideas into Darakonda district. ABU people attacked him, but he could survive. Later they killed Sheshaya, a newspaper man, also a student of BA in Darakonda. In 1985 January, they killed Ranjan, the first martyr in the Civil Liberties Committee, APCS. 6 people were killed in the APCS. The first martyr was killed by the RSS people in Tigitya. And in fact, this book, which you might have heard because it has come in Hindi and English also, Lal Bano, Gulami Chodo, Bolo Vande Mata. This book was first published in 1983 when Sheshaya was killed by the ABU. Those were the days the ABU people used to write the slogans in the Karimnagar and Varavara districts everywhere that Lal Gulami Chodo, Bolo Vande Mata. That was one slogan which ABU people used to write everywhere. The second slogan was the radicals or the communists or the Naxalites or the Chemchas of China and agents of Russia. This is the second slogan. Of course, Telugu will explain that Naxalite Edesha Bhaktulu. Naxalites are the patriots of which country? Naxalite Edesha Bhaktulu means which country? Against that, the slogan from Naxalites is Naxalite Edesha Bhaktulu. Naxalite alone are the patriots. So these were the slogans written on the slogan and the walls. But the idea is how to combat this slogan that Lal Gulami Chodo, Bolo Vande Mata, because you know communists are always blamed that they are not patriots. They are traitors to this country, like Muslims. It's true also because we believe in the internationalism, we believe in the international proletarianism. It's true, but in fact, who are the Naxalites today, who are the Maoists today? Right from the east to the central, to the south, all over the forest, the adivasis are the Maoists today. They have never gone from this country outside. They have not seen any country you live. They have never seen a train or a bus. They have never come out of the forest. But all those who are preaching about the Deshabhakti, the patriotism, he gets a 10 lakh suit from London and wears along with Obama, and he calls the President of America and the guest of the Indian Republic. And he is called a patriot, whereas the Adivasis, in fact, there was a case against the Adivasis in Hyderabad district, a Tada case against 90 people. In Tada, you know that it is disruptive activities and terrorism. So the judge, the Hyderabad session judge, making a comment, grants them bail, says that how can be the Adivasis who have not gone about the Hyderabad forest could be the disruptive elements at the borders of this country? I cannot understand. And that's why I have given bail. Of course, later the judge was removed when to say that's a different. So to answer this, taking example from the Vande Mataram movement during the Bengal division. Of course, you know Anand Math was written on this Vande Mataram poem is in that. That was only to against the Muslims, hating the Muslims, to bring the Hindu Raj. Bankim Chandra has written that Anand Math. But when the Bengal was divided, the Bengal nationality was divided into by the English, then the Vande Mataram movement has come in a new form. To use for a nationalist struggle, the Vande Mataram was used. Again today, if you use the Vande Mataram, I can give so many examples. For example, there is a song in Telugu against Nizam, Nizam Sarkar Oda, Padaharu Bandu Gatti, Yevandu Koto Koduka, Nizam Sarkar Oda. It was written by, in fact, great Yadaviri in the Communist Party. But today it is used against, the same song is used in the old city of Hyderabad, only to provoke the Hindus against the Muslims. The context has changed. Context of Vande Mataram, the Anand Math was one. the context of Vande Mataram during the division of Bengal was one, and today, if you take that Vande Mataram, again it has become a weapon in the hands of the Hindutva. Of course, the song itself is very Hindu ideology against the Muslims. But using that term during the days, the long poem was written about, of course, describing the whole Maoist movement, the Naxalite movement during that time. So it was published again when Gopinath Chandra was killed, and again it was translated into Hindi, when Bombay was held, the LRC has held a communism session, and again in 93, when after the Babri Masjid, when LRC Hyderabad conducted the 10 years of LRC, we brought the English translation of that book. It deals with the whole history from 1857 onwards till today, how the revolution movement is fighting against communism and imperialism. By 1984, particularly the Varangal in Andhra Pradesh has reached a stage, of course Hyderabad and Varangal reached a stage. During 84, the ideological struggle between the ABVP and RSP has reached to a physical stage, physical violence. In my own college, in 12 colleges in Varangal, 144 section was imposed. Even when I teach in my classroom, there used to be a violence from outside. And ABVP people in my own college, 12 people were killed, unlicensed pistols and chapel. They used to write exams putting the chapel on the table. When the teacher, the invigilator asks, it's for our protection from radicals. But only to kill or attack on the radicals, they used to bring those. You must have seen, if you can see, the 1984, the Week magazine. Gurbir Singh from Bombay, you know, the journalist who used to work in the Week magazine then, asked the H.J. Dora, who was DIG in Naxalites in Varangal, that people say that you are using ABV people as your ears and eyes. He says, yes. You are giving unlicensed pistols and jabus to the ABV people. He says, yes, there are ears and eyes. So that is, ABV people are being used as informers to the government. And you can see the 1984 Week magazine, the photo of H.J. Dora and this comment, there are ears and eyes. Till today, the ABV people are ears and eyes of the state. And that is the role they are playing. So 84 was such a time, and naturally, particularly under the leadership of Surabhayan Janardhan in 1980s, 70s, and under the leadership of Puli Anjaya, where later become Sagar and become the Secretary of the People's War, and was killed in a fake encounter along with his wife in 93. He led the radical students against the ABV people, and when Jagan Mohan Reddy, an ABVP Gunda, was killed in the campus. Of course, there was retaliation started in 1980s. That is the history in 1980s. Why I am narrating these things is, it's not a debate. It's not only a kind of discussion. Unless we take up to retaliate, resisting, fighting against these forces cannot be fought. It's not a question of a debating club. This is because it has got its own political economy. Its base is that. Its base is Brahminical feudalism playing the role of Comrade and the role of monopoly. Very clearly we see today in today's government. What all Manmohan Singh could not do in 8 years, today Modi is promising in 8 months, he has opened everything for the monopoly. He has opened everything for the corporate sectors. It is the corporate sectors which are conducting the elections, which we see. So to face this onslaught, on one hand we have their Gharwapsi, slogan आ रहा है, भगवद-गीता को आ रहा है. सब at superstructure level they are bringing the whole Brahminical Hindutva philosophy, and at the political economy level they are implementing all that corporates want here. I need not go into examples. So how to fight this? Everywhere it is happening, in Andhra Pradesh also, in Telangana also, everywhere it is happening, and the BJP forces, and the Sangh Parivar forces are increasing. And today you see, of course it's not, there is a feeling, general feeling that BJP or the Sangh Parivar is against Muslims. It's true, it's against Muslims. Because it appeals to those who are born into Hindu religion. It appeals to those which the Hindu religion, for its election purposes, says that Adivasis also are Hindus. It may appeal to them. It's all illusory. But the Sangh Parivar's birth itself is anti-Dalit. In Pune there are no Muslims. In Nagpur there are no Muslims. In fact, RSS has come there. It is anti-Dalit. It is anti-Adivasis. Today it suits them to speak against the Muslims, and one more reason also. Hating Muslims and attacking Muslims will help the Sangh Parivar. It gets the help from Sangh Parivar, from the imperialist forces. Two things are common with the Sangh Parivar and the imperialism. They are hating Adivasis, and that is hating Muslims. Because the whole natural resources are with them. The land and natural resources is with Dalits. The forest and natural resource is with Adivasis. The oil and natural resources and also the many minerals are with the Muslims world over. In place of Dalit, you can put blacks. So three communities in the world which has a very rich resource of the natural resources is vested with those three communities. Particularly the Muslims, world over. Those who owe allegiance to the Islam, whether they are Palestinians, Iranians, Iraqis, Afghans, whoever may be, who owe their allegiance to Islam. And that's why you see the consistent hatred of imperialism against the Muslims. Consistent. They are not communists. But it is only Muslims from centuries, particularly from the Palestine time, particularly from Second World War time, you will see that the Islam, all the nationalities which owe their allegiance to Islam, they are the only people world over who are fighting against imperialism. Their ways will be different. They may not succeed, that's a different thing. But consistently they are opposing the imperialism because, and also imperialism is attacking them like anything. I need not give so many examples about that. Because the very rich natural resources, particularly from the time of Second World War, the oil is with them, and in place like, that's why you think the blame is very high. That means that particular community is holding very richest natural resources. That is the Afghans. Afghans, they are Muslims, they are tribals, that's why they are called Taliban. Many minerals are there, and very militant tribal Muslims are there. So you name them Taliban, and you can kill them. Like the Palestinians. All these people, under their feet there is oil, under their feet there are minerals. World over, under the feet of Adivasis, there are minerals. World over, under the feet of the blacks, and that is, there is land. The plain areas land. So for these resources, and of course, these are the people who are very easily get by cheap labor also. For cheap labor and cheap resources of natural resources, these are communities that are being plundered by the imperialism, and they hate these people, and that's why they attack on the Muslims. And that's why they attack on the Adivasis world. Bajrangal people have mass raped five Adivasi women. A big number have raped. raping the Adivasi, 5 Adivasi women. They have videographed the whole thing. And that video was shown in the Ascendant cinemas and also in Visakhapatnam, the shakhas, the RSS shakhas. While showing these clippings, they did not say that these are the Adivasi women, they are raped. They were saying that this is how, during the Mughal rulers, during the Muslim rulers, Hindu women were raped. We have to take against. 20 years back, when Fascism was not found, it happened in Andhra Pradesh. Later, you must have heard about the Surat incidents. How Muslim women were raped, how Muslim men were killed, how the workers in the textiles working in Surat and Bhiwani and Bombay were killed in hundreds of members. Gujarat, you know, Visakhapatnam, you know. During the Surat case also, they have videographed and shown them in the Sunday classes, only to instigate them to do to the Muslim women these things. Then the Salvador people in that environment has done that. Many instances are there, papers have reported it. Recently, in the Darakonda, in Chhattisgarh, in Vijaipur area, 3 Adivasi women were fired, one died on the spot, and other 2 women were raped by the Central Police, the Koya commandos, the state forces, the district forces, all together, giant action forces. And they raped these 2 people. By raping, they have photographed everything and they have given to the magazines, and the Hindi magazine has published that. And these days you will find in DK, Darakonda, Chhattisgarh, and also Gadchiroli. In Gadchiroli, so earlier this happened, 7 women were caught, raped, and killed. And they are making these, while raping, they are making them films and giving to the truck drivers, auto drivers, and jeep drivers, which are trying in Chhattisgarh, as blue films. And this is the latest one, in fact, I put in the net also about this. That happened. Ramana has given a statement about it. Why is so? Because today in Darakonda, in People's Liberation Guerrilla Army, more than 50% are women. I will just show you the book of Shri. She is the best woman writer in Darakonda. All the writers who are respected outside also in Telugu, in literature, are women from Darakonda. Iduko, Shahida, Nitya, Sujata, Maina, they are the underground revolutionary activists and leaders in Darakonda. You will find a new word in Darakonda today. A new human being is the being today in Darakonda. Till now I spoke about the imperialism, the Comrade rule, right from Rajiv Gandhi to Modi, what's happened here, because I did not go into this because all of you know. But there is another word, the same, because there is another word. In fact, in that word, in Darakonda, from 2009 onwards, for more than 6 years, an alternate people's politics is being implemented there in the name of Janata Sarkar. A new human being is discovered there. The Adivasis, behold, the people who rule themselves are Adivasis. Their Nyaya, their Vidya, their health, their culture, their forest, their environment, of course their land and culture. Everything is handled by them. Self-reliance, self-sufficient, paying no taxes to the government, not participating in elections. Cooperatives and collective farmers with their labor, free labor, thousands of people participating. Now you can see, go into the land and see lakhs of acres of land being leveled. Lakhs of people being participating in it, leveling the land, lakhs of acres of land, and some Bijapur happened during that time also, you know, when it happened in 2010. Sakanmura and Three Kottakuda and other villages, they are meeting to have the name itself is Bija Festival. The festival of seeds. In the outside world, you don't see the seeds today except the Manchester seeds. They have grown up their own seeds this year and they will have next year. Everything self-sufficient. No World Bank. And they, in fact, in 2009 has resolved that two greatest dangers to our country. The first is the imperialism and the second is Hindutva. We have to diligently fight against it. You can see that today. And one of them, of course, today the campuses also they are giving this particular response is making the experiment in the cultural field, beefeating. I think the student of JNU also. And you have to show that beefeating is one thing which against this Brahminical Sankarwa, this thing. The beef festival is being conducted responsibly. And of course, a booklet also has brought on the beef festival. Today in Darakonda, culturally, politically, everything, they are fighting against this Sankarwa forces. They are fighting against the imperialist forces. Because there are many raids on the Christians, particularly in Jharkhand. There are raids on the Christian missionaries. In Chhattisgarh also, they are saying that the Christians are helping. The Maoists there, they are raiding the Christians and the people there are resisting it. So, of course, the Congress resolution itself and the characterization of the state itself is the Hindutva state, the Maoist party has characterized by characterizing it an alternate people's government that the Andhra Pradesh and in that, in fact, to participate in that alternate people's polity, Naveen has gone from JNU to Darakonda and from the east. And he has sacrificed his life there. And the students of JNU, for every year, performing his or remembering his martyrdom, I think how to think about him, to, I think, go in his footsteps, and whatever we can do for the society, particularly fighting against the Hindutva onslaught, the Hindutva fascism, and of course the imperialist fascism, and to bring an agrarian society. I think students will strive for that. Thank you very much.